What's going on, everybody? My name is Clown, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to make Kratos go faster in God of War. That's right. What we're doing here is called Agile Strike Running. The reason it's called Agile Strike Running is because it takes a skill called Agile Strike. So what we're going to be doing is covering all the button combinations for standard controls and for classic controls. I'm going to show you everything that you need to know on how to go faster, because this has been brought up in the comments many times. I figured I would do an updated video because I had an older one from much before, and nobody really knows it's there. So before we get started on the video, if you haven't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. It is free, and if you don't like me, that's cool. You can always just unsubscribe. Also, if you didn't know, I do stream on Twitch 5 days a week, and I'm also on Twitter. I don't do a whole lot on there because, well, I just don't, but I do post on there every time I do go live. So if that's something you're interested in, consider it. Either way, let's get into the video and go zoom. All right, so step one, and the most important step, we need to get the skill. To do Agile Strike, like I said before, it's called Agile Strike. You need to get the Agile Strike skill. As you can see, the Agile Strike skill is while barehanded and evading, hold forward on the left stick and press R1 to perform a quick attack. It's basically just doing this skill, but there's a little bit extra that you got to do with it to be able to do it very quickly. You'll also notice if you read on the bottom right, additional bonus adds a medium range concussive blast that inflicts additional stun damage, requires defense 250. It says 332 out of 250 because I currently have 332 defense on this character. So if you have above 250 defense, you will get that stun blast. If you have below it, you will not. So keep that in mind. If you're wondering why you don't have the stun blast on it, like you've seen on other videos, that is the reason. You do have to have above the 250 defense to get that, and then the skill will turn bright white like it is right now. Anytime you have the additional bonus, the skill will turn bright white and you will know. Alright, now that we have covered the skill, next we're going to cover the controls. So if you go into your options, go into your settings, go into your gameplay, you'll have the different controls here. Under combat, you have default controls. This is what the game comes with. This is the standard controls. These are the controls that I play on. Then you have flip, which is just flip controls. Then you have classic. Some people play on the default, some people play on the classic. So starting with the default, the main buttons that you're going to be using is L2, which is your aim, the left stick, X, which is your dodge button or your evade, and R1, your light attack. So for standard combat controls, L2 with aim, X with evade, R1 is your light attack. On classic controls, L2 and the stick are the exact same, but light attack is on square, evade is still on X, so you're going to be using X and square. X and square, X and square. That's for your classic controls. So first we're going to cover it on standard controls. Then we'll switch it over to classic controls. It's going to look exactly the same, but I'm going to do it just so you see it anyway. So here, we're on standard controls. What you need to do, make sure you do not have any weapons out. Your axe or your blades, they both must be away. You're going to start off by using L2. That's your aim. Holding forward. And keep on holding forward through the entire process. You're not going to let go of L2 or forward on the stick. L2 and forward on the left stick must be held down the entire time. So get used to doing that. Just push them down, hold them, and just keep going. no matter which way you're facing, whatever you're doing, you have to be holding L2 and the left stick forward. If you let off, it will not work the same. You'll do it once, and then it'll get all whacked out, or it'll do that. So, L2, walk forward, aim and walk forward. Then you're going to use X, which is your evade button, quickly followed by R1, your light attack. Now, as long as you keep holding L2 and forward, aim and forward, you can do that repeatedly. XR1, 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 and then you just time it. So at the end of the next one, you're going back into XR1. So it's dodge light attack. And then it's just learning the timing. If you do it too early, it's not going to register your dodge. It will hit R1, and it will cause it to either do a little weird skip, like so, or it'll pull your axe out, like that. The reason it pulls your axe out is because of another skill. That skill is in the axe tree. And it is right here. Returning Whirlwind. Returning Whirlwind, if you do have this skill, it can cause that to happen. If you hit the inputs too fast, it will not register evade. It'll register as 2 R1s or 2 light attacks. And the second light attack will cause you to basically go into Returning Whirlwind, and it'll pull your axe out. So when you're doing it, practice, practice, practice. Get your timing down. Doing it too fast can cause that to happen. If you do not have this skill, all it's going to do is make it do a little weird. Just boop. You'll pop forward a little bit, but you'll be able to go right back into it. It won't pull your axe out if you don't have that skill. But if you do have that skill, and you go too fast, it's going to cause that to happen. So make sure you're timing it. L2, forward, dodge light attack, dodge light attack, dodge light attack, dodge light attack. So it's XR1, 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 XR1. Now, switching to classic controls, L2, forward. This time, you can basically do it with just your thumb or 2 fingers. You're going to be hitting X square, X square, X square, X square. If you're practicing and trying to get the timing down, using classic controls is actually easier to learn the timing because the buttons are very close together, and it's just basically rolling your thumb from X to square. Or your pointer finger, or your toe, or whatever you feel like rolling across those two. One way or another. Hold down L2, hold down forward, keep them held down through the entire process. Light attack, or sorry, evade, light attack followed. So yeah, that is basically it. That's how you do it.
Ooh, that's chilly.
The reason that it is faster than running, this is a weird thing that you might not know. When you start running with Kratos, he starts off running faster, but after about 4 or 5 steps, he actually slows down. So he starts off in a weird sprint, and then he slows down a little bit more. Starts off in a sprint, and then he slows down. So Agile Strike Running covers more distance, and you never slow down. Alright, now we're going to do a little comparison test. Starting with our back against the wall right here. One end of the bridge to the other. Here we go. All right, and now Agile Strike. Okay, so over that distance, about 7 seconds faster. Just so you can see, it is quite a bit faster. All right, that should do it for a tutorial on Agile Strike. Hopefully that helped you out. If it did, consider leaving a like, and we'll leave you with a little bit of gameplay to go out on. Thanks again. Bye-bye.